Hi. So today I woke up and it was super raining outside, so I thought that I would like to try to create some art using rain. So I'm wondering, how can we do that? What can we do to create art with rain? So I'm going to show you some materials that I have, and we'll see what happens with those materials when I put them outside. Are you ready? Okay, so first things first, I have a cookie tray. This is a cookie tray that I use for art, so it's a little dirty looking, but I don't use it for food, it's just for art. I also have a popsicle stick, a clean, never used popsicle stick. It's blunt on the edges, and I also have a piece of paper, and I have some blue tape, and I also have a bucket of chalk. So, what do you think we might be doing with all these materials? I'm going to show you. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get my cookie tray. Now, if you don't have a cookie tray, you can use anything. We want to just make sure that we have something to put our piece of paper on. So you can use paper, you can use white paper, colored paper for this. If you want to try it on cardboard, anything that you have in your house, it'll work. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put my paper on the cookie tray just like this. And now I'm going to take some of my blue tape. Now this tape is a kind of tape that won't stick to paper, but you can also try different kinds of tape at home to see what works better. You can use different kinds of masking tape, or you can try clear tape if you want to. That might make an interesting resist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape down my paper, and I'm going to show you. And if you don't want to tape down your paper, you don't have to. I'm taping down my paper because it's really windy outside today, and I'm afraid that my paper might blow away, but I also want to see if I can create a nice white border around my picture, because sometimes if you put some masking tape down and then you peel it off later, you get a white border around there, and sometimes it looks really cool. So we're gonna see what happens. So now I have put my blue tape, as you can see, all around the perimeter of my paper, so it makes a rectangle. And I'm gonna put this down. Now I'm gonna grab my popsicle stick, and if you don't have a clean popsicle stick at home, you can use something else. Maybe there's something in your kitchen drawer. You can ask an adult in your house what you can use as an object for our next step, which is going to be scraping our sidewalk chalk. Now, if you don't have sidewalk chalk at home, you can try it with regular chalk. If you have chalk that's in cool shapes, you can try that too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sidewalk chalk, and I'm going to take my popsicle stick, which I'm going to call it as a scraper, and I'm just going to start rubbing my scraper against the side of my sidewalk chalk. And I'm going to show you what it starts to look like. It's going to look like a little dusty. Can you see the little dust particles? Now, I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm using purple. I'm also going to use blue, and I think I'm also going to use some green. Now, do you remember what kind of colors those are? I'm going to show you again. So there's green, blue, and purple. Are those warm colors or cool colors? Yeah, they're cool colors. So I'm going to be working with cool colors today, so that when they all mix together, they'll all look very nice when they are together. So I'm going to scrape some of this on here, and I'm going to show you. See? So I'm going to do some scraping, and you can do some scraping too. Now, you can scrape really hard, or you can scrape really soft. You can scrape really fast, or you can scrape really slow. Now I notice when I scrape really fast, I get a lot more of the chalk dust on my paper. The color is becoming more saturated because I keep putting the chalk dust right in the middle of the paper. I'm gonna start with the blue now, and I'm gonna put some blue down. And I hear the rain outside of my windows. So I'm really happy that it's still raining because it's gonna be really important for our next step. So here's my blue layer. Now, if you're doing this at home, you can try different ways of doing this. I wonder if there's other kinds of materials you can scrape, because what we're going to do next is we're gonna go outside. Well, I'm not gonna go outside completely, but I'm gonna put this tray outside and I'm gonna see what happens to all of this chalk dust or these pigments when they mix with the rain. Normally when we paint, what are some things that we paint with? Right, sometimes we use our paintbrushes. What else can we paint with? Our hands. Sometimes we use our hands to paint. Anything else we can paint with? Really? You paint with that? You'll have to show me that sometime because that sounds really cool. I don't think I've ever used that before to paint. So I'm just gonna continue to use my cool colors for a second. And I think I'm pretty much done. I'm going really fast here so you can see what I'm doing. Now this is what my painting or my picture is gonna look like before I put it out into the rain. So I'm ready to put my chalk dust into the rain, and I want you to come with me. Will you come with me? Okay, come on, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna go to my door and you're gonna come with me. And you can see, what colors do you see? What do you notice? Do you notice any shapes or lines? Oh, and I'm at my door. I'm at my door, and guess what? I'm looking at my door and it's still raining. So I'm going to open my door now. I'm actually gonna put this down, and let's open up my door. And as you can see, it's still raining outside. Oh, it's starting to rain in my house now. And I'm gonna prop my door open, and I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to put it down, and we're gonna see what the rain does to it. All right, now as you can see, it's starting to rain on top of the paper. And I'm noticing that the colors are starting to change. They're starting to get darker. And I'm gonna give it a minute. I don't want it to get too wet because I don't want the paper to start to rip. All right, so I'm gonna bring my paper in. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and I've got my chalk painting with me. So, are you ready to see what it looks like? All right, are you ready? Okay, we're gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Look. What do you notice? How did it change? You notice that there's color running down? I see. Do you notice that have any of the colors changed? Yeah? Yep, there's some green down here and some purple, and you can still see a little bit of a blue. I wonder what might have happened if I put more chalk down. Do you think you would have seen more colors? Maybe. What do you think might have happened if I left it out longer? Do you think all the chalk would have washed away, or do you think there would be any color at all? Maybe that could have happened too. I wonder what would have happened if I used warm colors. Do you think they would have been brighter? We'll have to try that sometime. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry, and I'm gonna come back a little bit later and I'm gonna show you what it looks like once it's dry. All right, are you ready? Okay, see you soon. Hi, I'm back. So it's been a little bit, and our little chalk painting is dry now, so I wanted to just show you what it looked like real quick before I took it off of the cookie sheet. So this is what it looks like now, and I'm going to bring it up to you just a little bit closer so you can see. Now, what do you notice about it? Has it changed at all? Uh-huh. Yeah, I think so too. And I noticed that when I hold it up like this, the water doesn't come down anymore, which tells me that it's dry. There's no more dripping. And I noticed that it seemed to dry a lot lighter than it originally was. When it was wet, the chalk was much darker, but now that it's dry, it looks like it's lighter now. Do you notice that? Uh-huh. Yeah, I think so too. So remember when I was setting up, I initially wanted to use this tape because I thought it would make a nice border. But I'm going to peel it off right now and we're going to see if it makes a nice white border. So it's going to create a little bit more negative space, which would be the white of the paper. And I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. Got one last piece of tape, and I'm going to take it off of the tray and see if you notice any difference. Now you can see up top here where it's a little bit white. That's where the tape was, and you can see where the tape kind of ripped the paper a little bit. It happens sometimes, and it's okay. It just makes an interesting shape along the border. See over here it's straight, and then it kind of dips down and curves a little down here. So I'm going to hold it up so you can see it better. See if you notice any differences. Uh-huh. Do you notice the shape down here? It's a nice big curve. So there's some negative space down here, some white negative space over here, and all this up here where you see the color, that's all positive space. Now, I did another one too, and I just wanted to show you in contrast. So this one, when I hold it up, I'm going to show you, this is the one that we did together, and this one's light. Now this one is that I did a little bit later, and I wanted to see what would happen if I had scraped off more of the chalk. I wanted to see if it would be lighter or darker. So this is the one that I did after, and as you can see, it is a little bit darker. So I found out the more chalk that I scraped up, the darker the painting is. So this is more chalk and this is less chalk. So that is our art experience for today, and I thank you for joining me, and hopefully next time when it rains you can grab some of the same materials or a little bit different materials and you can try it on your own with your family. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.